Hi guys, this is Ruthie with the Purple Backyard Farm. I came across this little piece and I just couldn't figure out how it was put together. So I showed it to Clay, and as soon as he saw it, he said, I know how they did it. So I went and from here I guess I'll let him explain how they did it and how he knew what they did. Okay, Clay.
All right, we went to, this is the back, and this is the front. We went to Walmart. Ruthie looked for, the little kids' looms that you make pot holders with, which would be this thing, or the old metal ones you used to get when we were kids. Well, they have the plastic one, and what they did is they strung the string back and forth, and as they got to the corners,
Let me see.
as they got to the corner,
Mm-hmm.
they went back the other way. Now you go around it 3 times, and then once you get the you go around the inside in a spiral pattern, and you tie off a crisscross on each one of these things. Now this is made of the thick yarn. Now for me to show Ruthie how it was done, I did it with the small yarn.
And I actually like this better. I think it's much more delicate.
I went
detailed.
with the loom like this and started on the one end and went all the way up and around and went into the spiral pattern and made sure that it crisscrossed on the back side. You don't have to get right up onto it.
So they can see that each of these is a little
crisscross.
Is like a cross stitch.
Okay, so what it ended up back up, and you can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Now this is what it looks like done, because I know once you get them all tied off into a spiral pattern right to the center, then you could just pick it off your loom, and if you wanted, you could cut these loops so that they were just strings and cut them off evenly all the way around. But Ruthie kind of liked the loops, so we'll leave that the way it is. But they make.
I thought this would be like really pretty, and say you put a plant on top of it,
or use it for a doily, or for
a doily. If you can make it in pink, blue.
Or just for your coffee cups.
Mm-hmm. It's really just delicate, almost like a doily when you see it in person.
But this is just regular yarn. Now this is what I think they consider a rug yarn. It's the thicker yarn.
And you can see the front of this one too, which this might be nice for the holidays and that type of thing.
Yeah, because it has the white, looks like little mini marshmallows with the red X's in the middle. This is really pretty, but I'm sure it'd be time consuming to try to get in between each one of these to tie them off, but probably not any more than it was for the small ones. The small ones tied off the same way.
But you could probably use different types of material to make different patterns and different things. You could probably put beads on if you wanted to. If you wanted to put a bead on each one. I will tell you, too, that it took you a long time, didn't it? It wasn't that quick project.
No, if you want it to be non-skid, you could get some of that shelf liner. Mm-hmm. And once you get your string all onto this, you could cut a piece of that shelf liner for the back, mm-hmm. and then use a regular needle and thread, or needle and yarn, and go through to sew right through the backing. And then you really wouldn't have to have that spiral pattern, but it would have a non-skid back, so you could use it on tabletops for a flower vase, mm-hmm. and it wouldn't move around. This being yarn would probably slide around on a tabletop. But if you had the shelf liner on the behind it, it would be easier to tie off your little X's.
I want to show them the difference. This is really thick, and it looks...
Well, I showed them the thick.
It's cute. Well, I want to give a close-up.
It's like a rug yarn.
And this is nice for the winter, and then this is nice for the other types of years. But I just, up close, I was like, wow, that's really cool. It looks so gardeny and precious.
But she couldn't understand how it was put together, and as soon as I looked at this thing, my mind started, well, that looks like the pot holder loom, and it's probably exactly what it was. They went around it 3 or 4 times, just like I did this one.
And actually, because earlier today I made a little weave on the pot on the loom. You could weave; it comes out really small. But couldn't you probably even use those loom knitting sets and make a pattern?
Oh, I imagine you probably could.
Anything that probably has this this type of a thing, you could try.
You could take a piece of plywood and cut the center out if you got a handyman that or woman that uses a scroll saw to cut your center out, and then use finishing nails.
Mm-hmm.
Just take the finishing nails and kind of take a piece of emery or sandpaper and take the rough parts off the finishing nails, and give you the points there to hold the string and yarn on.
I was just like,
and you could go any height with the finishing nails and
that's true,
make
too.
it thicker if you wanted.
Well, so I was really impressed. It was something I hadn't seen before, and I thought, well, that would be fun. And and I always like things that are useful. So I thought, well, what can I use this for?
And if you don't have one of these, they're at Walmart for $5.
Yeah, they
with enough string and enough cloth and rings on there to make 4 pot holders. So you can have the kids make their pot holders, and then when they're done, it comes with a little hook too.
And I made my big kid make me 4 pot holders, just because we just said,
She wanted to use up the stuff, so
yeah.
So she had the loom.
So
but you could probably make this loom at home. It has, instead of going out and buying it, but why buy it or why make it when you can just pick it up for $5?
Yeah.
It has 18 points on each side with about an inch gap between on the corners.
But it is plastic.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, they were made of metal.
Yeah, mine is made of metal too.
They were all blue painted tin.
Yeah. Well,
but this is what became of it. Trying to copy this item by using. We didn't have any of the rug yarn, so we used regular yarn.
So
that's what it came out looking like with regular yarn.
Let us know if you've ever seen this project before, if you know anything about it, and
maybe you've got something to add to it.
Right.
An easier way of tying them off, or
right. Maybe you know something we don't know. I've never seen this before, so anyway.
It was pretty nice.
Like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video, and I'm going to make some chicken. I'm going to feed the big bear. We'll see you guys in the next video.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.